Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the round table of poker live with me, Shuggy Wuggy. Okay, it's great to see you all again, no matter where you are in the world. You could be in Australia, you could be in the United Kingdom, you could be pretending to be in Switzerland, or you could be in the good old US of A. Well, it's been a good week round the tables no matter what game you were playing, because this is poker for all players of all different games, but predominantly VR poker and Poker Stars. And don't forget, we do this weekly. If you have not been interviewed yet and you're on the page, message me and we will get you on. Just like this young lady messaged me last week, or maybe I said to her, I can't remember, but she's backstage and she's ready to face the 22 questions that everyone gets. The same questions. It's just a different slant on it. So please welcome this week's guest on the 6th of November, 2022. Please welcome Chris or Christian. Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
We're good. We're good. Sorry for being a wee bit later. I think we had some technical problems because you're out on the field. First of all, is it Chris? Is it Christian? What is it?
Chris is good. Christian
Right.
is just whatever my account is under. So
All right. So
Chris
that's
is
Chris is your Christian name.
yes.
Right. Okay. Thanks for coming on. And we'd like to know right now, where are you?
Right. So I'm really sorry to everybody right now. I'm gonna pre-apologize. So I played the WSOP circuit event in Durant, Oklahoma at the Choctaw Casino this weekend. Didn't get a lot of
Oh,
sleep. But I was on my
okay.
way home from that, and it occurred to me it's First Monday. And so First Monday in Canton, Texas is a huge flea market kind of
Huh?
situation. So, antiques, arts, crafts, all that. So, lack of sleep. And I called the wife of my ex-husband and said, hey, I'm going to Canton. You want to come? So she's going to meet me here. And then I realized, oh, wait, I have an appointment
You've
with you guys.
yeah. Right.
So
Okay.
here I am.
Right. Brilliant. So, what on the poker? What is your username on the poker game?
So on Poker Stars VR, it's
Yes,
Taofisch. A lot of people think it's taco fish, but it's actually Taofisch.
Taofisch. And what does that represent? Taofisch. Is that again?
So yeah, so like the Tao is from the Tao Te Ching, which is kind of an Asian part of it is divination or the thought of balance, and then fish is from my last name.
Right. Okay. So Taofisch. Hope I'm
Yes.
saying that right. Taofisch. And where is it you live? Where are you in the world?
I am in Texas, so I'm. If you drew a hammock between Dallas, Texas, and Shreveport, Louisiana,
Uh-huh.
where I live would be right where your butt would be,
All
right
right.
there.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you're pretty south then. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. South of the United States, but northeast Texas.
Okay. Cool. Right. That's us done question two already. So I'm moving on to question three.
Easy.
What? Yeah. What is your vocation? What is your job? Do you work? What is it you do, Chris?
Oh, okay. So I teach at there's a lab school affiliated with the University of Texas Tyler, that's STEM oriented. So I teach physics, chemistry, and engineering to high school juniors and seniors, and I'm finishing up my doctorate. And I might be looking at some postdoc opportunities in like Northern England or Scotland.
Oh, in Scotland. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. There you go. So you would be going to a university.
Yeah.
And oh, good stuff. I service Glasgow University. I look after
Hey,
some of the services in there. One of the best in the world, of course, Glasgow
sweet.
University. Look it up. Right. So hobbies, Chris, outside of poker. Let's leave poker to the next question. Hobbies outside poker. How do you pass your time?
Okay, that's another good question. So, I do a ton of baking to the point where there's an American version of the Great British Baking Show,
Mm-hmm.
Bake Off. I tried out for it as COVID hit, made it all the way to the end of the auditions, and then COVID
Oh,
happened. So I bake all the time. I got 3 kids, 4 grandkids, so I spent a lot of time doing that. So that's a lot of it. And then I spent a lot of time out in far west Texas. I have a house out there where I get four-wheeling and hanging out, just kind of that good
right. So
stuff.
you keep yourself busy, and of course, if you've got a big family, that's it. It takes up a lot of your time.
Yep,
Right.
very busy.
So let's go into poker, right?
Sorry about that.
Rev it up, rev it up. We're talking about VR poker. How long have you been playing VR poker?
So, I'm sorry, there's somebody with a Harley. It's really
That's
loud. But
okay. We can hear.
so let's see, maybe 2 years. I don't remember, but sometime during COVID,
Yeah,
the chaps that I play with locally all started buying headsets so that we could play poker since we weren't being able to do it live. And so I
sure.
bought one then. So it's been, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, something like
Okay,
that.
and what headset did you buy? Was it the Quest 2?
It was the Quest 2, and I've been hearing a lot about this new one,
Yeah.
but it's so expensive. I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
think I'm going to do that.
that's another story. I bought one, but that's another story. Um, right. So, and the game that you play, is it Poker Stars? Is it VR Poker? What one is it you play?
I just do Poker Stars. I haven't
Okay,
even bid on the other one, so I don't know anything about it.
okay, sure. Right now, this question I think I might know the answer because you gave the clue away. Did you play poker before VR?
Yes, I
Right. Tell
did.
tell us your poker story.
So I think I started playing like before that maybe I would sat in a couple of hands, but I had no idea what I was doing. So I started playing about 10 years ago, and so for all my any North American viewers, one of the people that actually I started playing with in the beginning is Pat Mahomes' dad. So the quarterback of the Chiefs, his dad was one of
Okay.
in my like little inner circle of poker buddies, and actually was a really good coach early on. And then I played just like bar league poker for a while,
Yeah.
and then house games. Poker's not like at a casino. It's not legal in Texas. You can play home games as long as you don't take a rake. And
Okay.
so I played home games for a long time, and then sometimes I'll go to like Vegas or like I did this weekend where I went up to Durant, Oklahoma, and played like a circuit event. So I'm more of a live player, but I do
Right.
the VR lets me scratch that itch at home in my pajamas with a beer.
Right.
Don't have to go
Okay.
anywhere.
And let's talk about you say that the live event like that you just done at the weekend there. Explain that. What is it?
Okay, so in Durant, Oklahoma, this weekend was a WSOP circuit event, and at the circuit event, they have a variety of tournaments going on all week. Actually, it's like a 3 week event, but I only went up this weekend.
Yeah.
And so I played cash. The tournament started too late Friday night, so I played cash Friday night. Played till about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Did pretty well, and then I started a tournament yesterday at noon. Had 1,089 entries. I bagged last night and started up again today, and I was pretty short stacked.
Yeah.
So I went out, but I cashed, so
So
that's
so
good.
what kind of buy-ins is it for that kind of
It
setup?
was the one that I played in this weekend was a $400 buy-in,
Okay.
and I cashed for twelve
So,
hundred.
oh, so you made $800.
Yeah,
That's
and I
good.
made money. I made money playing cash Friday. So usually, like, there's all these tournaments going on, but there'll be
Yeah.
cash games
On the
over
side.
in the main poker room, so you could go. There's a lot of people on site, so
And the
yeah.
cash games, is it different levels of tables like buy-ins
There's
or
1, 2, 2,
blinds?
5. So
Could you?
the $1, $2 blinds, and then
Yeah.
$2, $5 blinds.
Okay.
And I think they have like pot limit Omaha going. I don't play Omaha because I've maybe played it for a total of an hour. I
Right.
have no
Okay.
idea what's going on with it, so I don't bother with it.
Okay.
I don't want
Right.
to lose money.
Very interesting. So it is. And have you had any really good wins with these live tournaments and games? Have you done okay?
So yeah, so I mean, this one was an okay win. I mean, I didn't make a lot of money on it, but let's see. I went to Vegas maybe 6, 7 years ago. Played tournaments all over town, and I probably
Yeah.
made at least quadruple what the trip cost me. So
Ah,
that
wow.
was lucrative. There's a I think this is a great tournament structure. So the guys I play with locally, there's 36 of us. We play the second Saturday of every month. We have a
Yeah.
bunch of attorneys and bankers in there, so we have a contract that we sign. It's $100 a month, whether you play or not,
Mm,
and they take a portion of that for the monthly pot, and then a
yeah.
portion for the end of the year tournament. But at the end of the year, whoever has the most points, we pay their $10,000 buy-in for the WSOP main and their travel. So I've cashed in, like I've won the monthly tournament several
Yeah.
times, which is like a $1,200, thing.
Yeah.
I've been in that league. They've been going for like 15 years, but I've only been with them for like 3. So I'm hoping to get in the points this year. I was just barely out of first place last year.
Wow.
So I didn't get the buy-in, but
Yeah,
maybe
that
this
that
year.
that sounds like a great little community. You've got well organized people can win, and the big incentive is getting that trip and the entry to the tournament. That's really, really cool. Very
It
good.
is. It's really cool because I mean, I'm probably never going to be in a position where I have $10,000 I want to throw down the toilet.
Of
So I'm going
course.
to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, this will be
Yeah.
good.
That's very good. Very interesting. Right. So back to poker VR. What's your favorite tables? Where do you like playing? Where can people see you?
I usually play like the 1 million cash mostly,
Yeah.
and the multi-table tournaments. So
Oh,
I very rarely do the spin and goes. I will sometimes do sit and goes, but that's usually like me and my buddies might go, oh hey, let's all like get on a sit and go.
yeah.
My preference is when a couple of us get on there. It's a public game, but we're kind of on there too, so
Yeah.
that's pretty fun. But mostly like 1 million cash.
Uh-huh. Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. And do you have a strategy on the poker VR that you want to release? What kind of player would you say you were? Incidentally, hold on. Hello to Sherry. I was on the table there with Sherry from Denmark. Hi, Sherry.
Yeah,
Right.
she was on a table with us that day. I
Yes, she
met you.
was. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, strategy in the VR poker. Tell us some of the things you look for or how you play.
I
How
think
would
it
you
depends. I think it depends on what I'm doing, and certainly I'm going to play a cash game different than I play a tournament game. Because tournament is it's about survival. So, like for instance, playing this cash game, I would probably be looser on VR because it's not real money. But
Yeah.
like there was a couple of times I had pocket tens that I folded or pocket jacks because I wasn't really sure that I had the lock on it, and
Mm.
so it's about surviving.
Yeah.
Depending upon what your chip sec is and your position and all that. But a cash game, I'm gonna me play more aggressively in a cash game because I can
Yeah.
reload.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
So,
on the VR, I'm there for the social aspect of it, and then but obviously I want to make some money. A lot of it depends on who's at the table.
yeah. Yeah.
Like you got a loose cannon that you could take some money off of, that kind of thing.
Yeah, with you. Okay, you never gave too much away, but I got that you're a little bit aggressive in the table. You'll force the bets, which some relaxed players quite like. Sit back and we'll let you call the shots. Fine, that's okay. I'll keep that in mind, and so will everyone else that's
I'll say
watching this.
that's fair. That's fair.
What about body language at the VR? Do you pick up anything on that?
No, and that's interesting that you say that because, obviously with your avatar, you're not going to get quite the same kind of body language, but you still can get some, right? So like, if people are moving around, if they're checking their cards a lot, if they're, one thing I look for is, when they look to the other player, when they're looking to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then some of it is habitual because that could mean that they do have a hand and they're going to see if this other person's going to call or they don't, and they're worried about it. So that's very individual.
Yeah.
But just from, and are they playing a lot with their props? Are they maybe distracted from the game, whatever. So
Yeah.
whatever. I'll kind of watch for that.
Okay. Right. In a session, whether it be a 2-hour session or a 4-hour session or not in a day, but what can you remember as being your biggest win at VR?
Oh, in a cash session, I think my biggest win was an $86 million pot.
Oh, wow.
That was, I think I was playing at 5 or 10, either the 5 or the uncapped or somewhere up in there. Yeah. So that was a big win.
Yeah.
That was
And
good.
then on the other side, can you remember losing a lot in one session?
Yeah. So it would have been a couple of weeks after that. I'd been enjoying some adult beverages, had some whiskey, and
Okay.
was like, woo!
Was it Scottish whiskey?
It was Kentucky bourbon is what it was.
Right.
So
That's
maybe it
not
should have been.
whiskey.
See,
That's not
I would
whiskey.
have had better luck if I had stuck with the Scottish whiskey instead of the Kentucky bourbon, because I pissed away most of that in one session. Most of the wins from the previous couple of weeks.
So in one session, you're saying you lost 80 million? Really?
Probably close. I think I finally like made myself get off when I had just like punted it down to about 10 or 15 million. I just
that's
like,
still a big loss. Yeah.
just
And
go to bed, dummy.
yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
a big loss.
it does affect you. You'll wake up in the morning and go, shit, what did I do?
I know, even though it's not real money, you feel like it. You're just like, that was so dumb. You had all that money. You could have been like carefully building, up from there. And instead you went on and acted like a moron. Yeah. No good.
And so this is a question further down, but I may as well do it right now. So do you give yourself a challenge within Poker Stars? What is your challenge? What is it you want to gain? What is your goal in Poker Stars?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know that I set up like specific ones. So as far as having like a really specific goal, I would say like in an MTT, I have to kind of get my head right of like getting in the mindset of playing for 2 or 3 hours, and like, because it is so different from cash, of like how I'm going to navigate that. And so when I play with my buddies, because we'll go like, hey, 9 o'clock MTT, last man standing, kind of deal. And so I'm as hyped about beating them as I am about trying to win the tournament. So we had one about a week ago that we did. There was about 5 of us that know each other locally that all got on there, and so I ended up winning the tournament. So that's bragging rights.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So would you say that your challenge is more tournament wins or beat your buddies, or are you challenging yourself with your bankroll?
I do challenge myself on my bankroll, but I don't get too tied to it. Like I'm not going to get real, I might go, okay, I'm going to go play 1 million cash or whatever and see if I can quadruple up and then get off for the night.
Okay, cool. Right. This is the hard question, but first of all, the next question is sponsored by a VR poker player who's now moved to Poker Stars, and he's doing very well.
I heard this on your last one, and I totally forgot about it until you just said that. I went, oh no.
And he's doing very well. I managed to see him last night or yesterday for the first time, and I think he's got over 300 million, and he's not been on that long. He's one of the top players from the other game. And he says, Shuggy, this was about 6 months ago. He says, I just want you to say 3 words, not a question, and see what the response is. So the 3 words coming to you, sponsored by Revenant, who now owes me 100 million. The question is, not the question, but the words are the weirdest place. And the horn goes, so it was in a car.
No, yeah, I was going to say, so you're right. So, I mean, it could be poker, but obviously everyone's mind goes immediately to other activities. So I'll just answer that way. So probably the weirdest place was in the the bowels of the USS Nimitz aircraft carrier with my ex-husband.
I love it. Love the answer. But on duty.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Right. Okay, let's move on. That's the best answer we've ever had for that.
Hey!
Sponsored by Revenant, who's now playing Poker Stars. Thank you, Revenant. Right. Okay, this is the hardest question because favorite players. So you have to create a table of 6 players. So you can it's a 6-seater table. You're one of them. So you have to pick 5 players that you would like at your table for a social aspect, and then pick 5 players you would like at the table for a challenge, for a good game. So
okay, and
give me your
hard.
5 names. Yeah. Because you're going to miss people out.
I am one of those people that, like, unless it's like a really big hand, I don't like. You could be 5 hands ago. I don't remember what it was. So I play with people and I don't really remember their names. But I would say from a social aspect of it, for me, when I have the most fun, I have, first of all, Kyla Fields is his screen name. That's one of my local buddies.
Okay.
And then Payuki, another one of my local buddies, because they're like the Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis duo. Like one of them, I mean, and they're just, they have no filter. I will laugh so hard when they're on the table there.
Yeah.
And like, I would love for you to be on a table with them. You would be rolling because
Yeah.
I just sometimes I go, why? I should have filmed. Should have been streaming this because it's so funny.
Mhm.
So let's say that would be three.
No, that's
Um,
two. Kyla Fields and
two
Payuki. That's
and
three
you.
more.
So there's three.
No, I'm not on it. I'm not
You
on it.
can't be on it.
Oh, yes, I can be if you choose me.
I
Yeah.
choose you. I
Oh,
choose
good.
you,
I'm in.
Pikachu.
Okay.
So then you, and then just from an entertainment standpoint, I don't remember some of the funniest people on there, but so I would say also like East Texas Lost Boy
Hmm.
and Juggle Pat.
Okay, there we go. Right now, the other tournament is serious poker. So serious players, put them on your
And
table.
so, when we say serious poker, then there's two aspects of it. It's like, do I
Hmm.
want to take money or do I want to get a challenge? And sometimes those are two different things. So I would
Do a
say, right,
combination
a
even.
combination.
Yeah.
So I would say like good Tony is just like he's like always really gracious and everything. And
Okay.
so I enjoy playing with good Tony. Um, if I just wanted somebody to come in and double me up, it would be Tony
Yeah.
Clifton.
Okay.
So just like word to the wise, if you're on a table and you see Tony Clifton show up, he's going to go in all in first hand.
Okay. Look forward to meeting Tony.
Period. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Poopy Rivera or Puppy, whatever.
Okay.
She's a pretty good player. She's challenging. I haven't quite figured her out yet.
Right.
Um,
Cool.
East Texas Lost Boy, who again, he's one of my buddies, and he's
Okay.
funny, but he's an extremely good player. So
Sure. Okay.
he's challenging to play with. And
One
then
more.
who was that I played with the other day? Oh, hang on, it's right there. Oh, this would be funny because like it was so fun taking him out of the tournament the other day. I appreciate the fact that he is an advocate for poker etiquette, but he gets so salty about losing, and that would be Dale Cooper.
Dale. Okay, Dale. Come on, lighten up, Dale. We'll still
Lighten
take your
up,
chips.
Dale.
Okay. Right, so
If
that's
you go
your
to fold out of turn, he will chastise. And I didn't do it, but he does it to other people.
Yeah,
He'll
well, I know
chastise folks.
I know a female player who's like that as well, and of course it is wrong to do it, but
Sure, yeah.
yeah, but still it's sometimes it doesn't make any difference if people see it differently. But fine. Thanks for that. We've got your two tables noted and they sound good tables. So everyone will be looking out for they guys and see if we agree with you. Right.
Yeah.
This is another hard one. Is there anyone you've came across in Poker Stars that you don't like? You'd like to name and shame?
Oh, name and shame. Some of them I just don't remember their names, but there was one in the last week. I think his name was like William Wild, Wilde. But really, it's just like anybody that's just like gross as far as like, they just, I don't even mind if they talk too much. Maybe I'll just mute them. I just don't like it when they're, this guy was like calling out Jews and calling out Arabs and telling me I was trans because I had a low voice, and he just would not shut up. So I was just like, my thing is like, dude, like you obviously have a lot of other unhappiness in your life that you have to come on here and like bully people through your avatar. Just calm down. We're here to have fun. Calm down.
Yeah.
So it's more like just those personalities rather than a specific player, I guess.
Yep. Okay, cool. That's around. Right. Okay. Who would you say is the best players you've came across in Poker Stars? As in, you just cannot read them, you cannot win from them. They are up there in your estimations as being the best.
Ooh, that is another great question. And there's so many players and there's so much variance in general that I wouldn't say there was any one that like, oh, I just can't beat this person. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying like, I've had people that I was up against in the multiplayer tournaments that had me out chipped and I ended up like coming back. I just play it. I try not to let anybody get in my head. So I'd say like in live poker, East Texas Lost Boy used to get in my head, but I got over it. I'm good now. You take him out a couple of times, then you're like, okay, I got you figured out. It's all good.
Okay. Is there anything about the game that you don't like, Poker Stars?
Oh, That's a really good question. Of course, it'd be really fun if we could play for real money, but that's a whole nother thing.
So the
Um,
two questions combined is the bad points about the game and what you would change about the app. So some things you don't like or things that you would change if
I
you had
think
control.
that's a great question. So I think like some of the problems, if you will, with the game, as far as like, people being really obnoxious or just like handling the props so much that it's overly distracting, you can avoid that by going to the higher tables. And so,
Yeah.
that's kind of got its own built in resolution. I think with as far as like the technology, sometimes when they update and it gets, then you start black boxing again or
Yeah.
having some of the issues like that. That's a little frustrating. Um, I think a lot of people complain that they're not responsive about turning people in if they're underage or really acting ugly. But, usually if I turn somebody in, I never see
I think we've lost
put
you.
me at a table with them again
Right.
or what. Sorry, I just had a phone call from the person I'm supposed to meet. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to be visible.
Okay.
I am
Well,
so sorry for all the distractions
no,
today.
it's fine. You're very visible. The whole of the world can see you because you're on live on the internet.
Live with all the like loud people going by in their cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, do you know it's a very as I ask Poker Stars players, I think you're the third Poker Stars player that we've interviewed, and the answers to these questions are very different from the Poker VR, because in
Interesting.
the Poker VR game, there's so much that you cannot do. You cannot show
Right.
your cards in the Poker VR game. You cannot sit out, take a break. Once you're out the table. Um,
Oh,
you cannot create your own tables. You must sit on the tables that are there. There's so much that
I
Poker
love.
Stars.
Yeah. So that's a really great point. Since I haven't
Yeah,
played that other one, I didn't know
yeah,
that. So
yeah.
I love the feature of creating your own table because sometimes on Sunday, my local gang will just do a private
Of
table to where we
course.
can just
Yeah,
cut up and visit. Maybe we'll do a public after.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the other thing I do at a private table is sometimes like if I'm trying to figure out all my like apparel
Yeah.
because I'm still learning how to put on multiple things at once. I'll just go make myself a private table and mess around with it.
Practice. Right.
So I'm not like interrupting the flow of a game. I don't
Yeah,
want to sit there and
yeah.
have to, get people mad because like I'm slowing it down.
Oh,
So,
do you know what I found out last night? I created a new avatar, and it's not a Poker Stars avatar, and it's not an Oculus avatar. You can create your avatar from Facebook.
oh,
There you go.
okay. Well, that's something to consider.
Yeah,
Let
Shuggy's
me,
got a new avatar.
okay, hang on. I got to put my eyeballs on so I can see if this is,
Right.
like I said,
Okay.
this is ironic. I'm meeting my ex husband's wife here. There
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is.
it's right. Well, we're
Hey,
nearly done.
you got
We're nearly
kids and
done.
grandkids. You got to get along, right?
Of course. Of
Yep,
course.
keep talking. I'm going to just
Right.
be making an ass of myself by waving here.
Right. We're nearly done. Don't worry. Um,
There she is. I'm
so,
going to catch her.
right. Cool. So, we're talking about tournaments. In fact, you've just about covered the tournaments. You play tournaments in PokerStars, and have you been successful in some of the tournaments?
Oh, yeah. So I won a 5 million. I've won a couple of I've won one or two 1 millions, and I've won a couple of 100K.
Super. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you think of any players that no longer play anymore?
Some of our local guys, when we were doing, when we got the headsets for COVID and we were all playing a lot,
Yeah.
they were on quite a bit. And then now they're just like, it's, since they're not as worried about it, we just don't see them.
Right.
Or
So,
it could be because they weren't having much success. I don't
right.
know.
So it's a bit unusual. You're one of the first that actually got the headset just for the poker. So
Yeah, I don't play anything else on there.
yeah, most people got the headset from their kids and found poker by mistake. So that's interesting that you physically went and done it for the poker game. Right.
Yeah.
Now, question 20 out of 22, it says, would you subscribe to a game like this? Well, of course, PokerStars has the option for you to subscribe because they work hard on the app. Are you one of the purple named players? Do you subscribe to it?
I am one of the purple name players.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be like 5 minutes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And what's your reason for subscribing?
I like the props. I don't really give
Okay.
a shit about anything else, but
Right.
the extra props are fun.
Okay. Okay. Tell her you'll be 4 minutes because we're nearly done.
She's gonna go get something to drink. It's all
All
good.
right. Okay.
Hey, I hope there's adult beverages today. I'm ready.
Scotch whiskey.
Yes.
Right. So, have you ever met, oh, no, this, any VR players in real life? Well, obviously you have. Right. But
So did my buddies,
yes, we know that.
obviously, but anybody that like I didn't know prior to
Yes.
that, I
Yes.
have not. I have not
Right.
ever met anybody in real life
Right. Okay.
that
Well,
I met on Poker Stars.
that's an interesting one because I've met 4 or 5, and it really is. It's quite a surreal experience. So
I think
maybe
that
if
would
you,
be really fun though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And at one point we were talking about arranging a poker VR cruise, and everybody meets up, and
I would
uh,
totally do that. I would
yeah,
totally do
I
that.
think
Yeah.
it'd be good. So we'll watch this space. We'll see how we got on. Right. But on to the last question now, because I know you're busy and you want to catch fleas at the flea market.
At the flea
Why
market, who knows what I'll buy here?
why do they call it a flea market? You in a market for fleas? I
That's a
don't.
great question because it's I don't know that they call it First Monday Trade Days, and so it's like antiques, arts and crafts,
Yeah,
metalworks,
yeah.
all kinds of crap. But I don't know, why do they call it? Maybe because
I
you get
don't.
fleas. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That's
Maybe.
right.
Right. So, can you think of any silly or crazy things that you've done or you've seen at a VR poker table?
Oh, I mean, you know what to me is always amazing is the hacks that people figure out for
Yeah.
their props. So there was one time, and this has been 6 months ago, and I never bought the extra stuff that I needed to do it. It was very naughty. So they
Yeah.
bought it was the alien ashtray, one particular pipe, a cigar, and something else, and
Yeah.
it looked like an adult film. That was probably it. But
Yeah.
other than that, the
Yeah.
hacks are always amazing. I'm like, how
Yeah.
long do you have to screw around with this prop before you figure that it does that? I don't know.
Sure. Uh, Chris, it's been 33 minutes worth. We've squeezed it all into 33 minutes. We love the background noise, the Harleys. It wasn't that loud, and we love the fact that you're going to meet your ex-husband's wife. I think that's
We're
great.
gonna go blow some money, eat funnel cakes, and
Make
drink a beer.
make sure it's his money you spend.
Right?
Yeah, Chris. Thanks for your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you around the tables. And I'm
All right.
sure everyone that's watching this and all the names that you mentioned will enjoy watching it and catch up. And we'll catch you around the tables at some point.
Awesome. Thank you
Uh,
so much. It was so fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. There we go. That was our Chris. Well done, Chris. She was a lovely girl, and she's very busy. She's got a lot going on at the flea market, a market for fleas. There's Cindy saying, "Hola, hola." So, what I'm going to do right now, right? Do you know what? Do you know what I'm going to do? Right, I'm going to post on the page, right? And this is a challenge. This challenge is going to last for 3 minutes, right? It's a 3 minute challenge. If you watch the page right now, I have just posted a link, right? And the challenge is for you to come into this link right now, click it, and come live with me right now, and you'll get a prize. How does that sound? So, got 2 minutes now. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. 2 minutes now to click the link and come live with me in the studio. So Cindy's there. Hi, Cindy, all the way from Canada. We played with Sherry at the table earlier on today. Newton was there. Crazy ass guy. Oh, yeah. About the page, the round table of poker. We have a few new members. Thanks for joining the page and spread the word. Let's get more players on here. And a big hi to Ken Davis Vision House or Detroit. I jumped on Poker VR last night for about 10 minutes and I met Ken there and I'd invited them to come and try Poker Stars. And of course, we've got a lot of players jumping between the games, which is really good. And that's why we've opened up, changed the name to the Round Table of Poker. So it's open for everyone that plays the game we love, especially on VR. So you've got 1 minute if you're brave enough to jump in, say hello, and I'll give you a prize. Otherwise, I'm away. And we'll see you all next Sunday We haven't got anyone lined up, but if you're watching this, I think it's lagging a little bit. If we're watching this and you would like to come live in the studio and answer the 22 questions, then message me on the page. Oh, moderators, you'll probably see that there's somebody called You Suck. You Suck, who is a moderator on the page. He was originally a moderator and then he changed his name to You Suck. So we took him off from being a moderator because of the name, but he's actually Chinese and that's his name, Suck. So You Suck is a moderator. It's not taking the mickey out of anything, but he's a moderator. So it's not a kid on. He's a real person and he's a lovely, lovely guy that plays around the tables and he brings lots of craziness to the table. That's all I'm saying. Crazy guy. He's a crazy, crazy guy. Anyway, so you've got 30 seconds if you want to click on the link and join me and win a prize. Otherwise, I'm going to toodle off and I'm going to go on the tables now. I will be going on Poker Stars, not VR Poker. I've done a little bit of that last night, so we'll go back on Poker Stars. I think that's it. Nobody wants a prize. That's fine. I know a lot of you do watch this on catch up as well, but these are probably busy at 5:40 New York time, or like me, it's 10:40 p.m. UK time. Right, that's me off now. Thank you very much to Chris for joining us on the round table of poker for our 22 questions. I'm over and out now, and I'll see you back here next week. Same time, maybe. Same place, maybe. Who knows? Okay, see you later. Give me your chips. Give me your chips. Give me your chips. Get me your chips.